So, hi everybody. It is Monday, October 14th. It is day 5 for me. I am very symptomatic for my ADHD. It is rainy out, and I think the other night that I was up till 3 a.m. learning how to edit videos did a number on me, because even though I went to bed by midnight last night and I woke up at 8, I just want to go to sleep and I can't think straight. And I can't find my glasses. And I need my glasses to find my glasses. So, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of discouraged. I already want to quit this 30-day thing. But on and forward. And I hope I can find my glasses. I can't not do it just because I don't feel good. You know what I mean? You can't not go to work just because you don't feel good. So, I turned on all the lights and I found my happy light that I use in the winter, which I have to start using now. So, it is almost 9 and I have my medicine. I've already had a half hour of spacing out when I first woke up. I haven't had any water yet. I'm going to eat. I'm going to drink a bunch of water and hopefully I'll be more like lucid in a little while. And then I can look at what are my goals for recording this day with you guys today. Maybe we can talk about how to set up your planner in a way that works for you if you want to try a planner. If not, there's some other hacks if you hate planners and all of that stuff. There's another much easier form of that if you want to try it. And my particular goals for things that I'm trying to increase efficiency and get myself to do every day is, like I've said before, is maybe not the same for you. Maybe you're a guy and not a girl, and maybe you're married and you're not the one who does the cleaning. Maybe you work and your wife does a lot of these things. So every relationship, every family is different, and your role in your life, there might be other things that you're doing every day. So whatever you decide to use for a list or a chart or a tool to start keeping track so you can gradually increase your progress and see where you're at, you can use this for anything. My dad, when I was growing up, I think I got the idea from him because he had charts for everything. And he had a graph that he made for doing his daily jog. He was really into running back then in the 80s. And so he was always tracking every single day. He had a special watch, which is not uncommon now. I'm not sure in the early 80s how uncommon it was, but he could track his heart rate. He tracked his distance. And so he just went and did his jog. And then when he came home, he just wrote it all down. So for a person with ADHD, thinking about writing in a log or a calendar on the wall or a chart or writing anything, it can get overwhelming, especially if you're more on the hyperactive side and you're impatient. You can do whatever system works for you. One of the people in our ADHD group didn't deal with planners, didn't do any of that, but he had a whiteboard. And I actually have to reach out to him and see how he's doing. And so he was having his wife, as he had recently got diagnosed, and it actually really helped him a lot. And he was able to start making some changes. So some things, if you're newly diagnosed, especially if you're a late diagnosed adult, you may have some things that you thought were character flaws that aren't. You might be moody. You might be super impatient. You might be snapping at people and not realize that it's not depression. It's not bipolar. It's not you recovering from addiction if you are, which that goes along with that as well. But in his case, it turned out that it was untreated ADHD. You know, I gotta turn off the TV before it starts. It gets really loud. I was only gonna record for a second. So there's a little bit of a glare. I don't have lights set up or anything to record. This is just me and my phone. I'm not sure how much I want to record today. I do want to definitely track my progress with you guys, but I feel like day 3, which was Saturday, I was recording all day. And I did get about 3 hours of footage, which I was able to edit down. It was like 2.5 hours. I don't really know. It was maybe it was 2. And I was able to edit chunks out. And that was the first time I've been learning how to edit videos. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, I was getting a little frustrated, kind of yelling at my phone because I didn't know what I was doing at first. And I kept trying to cut segments out and it wasn't working. Oh my God. So pretty soon, this is going to get a lot less tedious for me, a lot less tedious for you guys, and I am going to learn how to make more entertaining, more polished videos for you. I guess this is kind of like the equivalent of having coffee with me. Yeah, I made my cereal. I haven't eaten it yet. I'm afraid to pick it up. I feel like I'm out of it. I feel like I'm going to spill it everywhere. And I don't know how I'm going to find my glasses because I can't see well. So there's that. What am I forgetting to tell you? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and eat my breakfast, drink my coffee. I put a scoop of protein powder in my cereal. I put a scoop in my coffee. It's a hack for having protein in the morning if you haven't been to the grocery store for a while and you happen to have protein powder. It's a little getting used to putting a little protein powder in your coffee. It makes it thicker. So if it's weird or gross, just do like a little bit and see how you like it. But I don't do the full 2 scoops in my coffee because it's like a sensory thing for me. It's like, I guess sometimes I can do it, and I use a Stein. I use like a big old mug, and I put ice and I put the coffee in there. So ideally it'd be good to not drink coffee. Again, I know that I have mentioned it before, but I am really symptomatic, especially, excuse me, today. Oh, another thing. So I did like a little brief thing yesterday. It being Sunday, we had family things we were doing, so I wasn't doing like day 5 yesterday, but I did do a brief thing I was going to post. I'll post it sometime today. Oh yeah, you haven't seen that yet with the protein hack. What was I going to say? As soon as we got back from visiting my mother-in-law for her birthday, I just went and sat on my bed and started playing video games, and I felt like I was going to be playing video games for like 5 minutes, half an hour, hour tops. I didn't move. I don't even know if I got up to go to the bathroom. I mean, I was having conversations with my fiance as he was like doing his thing, and anytime I hear like rustling packages, I'm like, what do you got? What are you making? What, you got food? He's like, no, I got a package. I'm like, all right. But yeah, anytime there's food, I get FOMO. Like, I need to know what he's eating, because then I'll run over there and be like, I want some. Can I have some? But yeah, it's crazy. I know that regular neurotypical people lose track of time also. Um, but you guys will have to let me know if there's anybody watching this who is neurotypical. It's like a regular person in layman speak. Regular person, you, normal people. That's probably not a good word because I'm saying we're weird, but anyway, I know anyone can lose track of time, but we got home. We usually get home when we do visit her. We usually will go in the afternoon and get home sometime around 4 or 5. So we get home just around dinner time. And we had a big meal for lunch. And yeah, we brought seafood. I had to have a lobster roll. That was really nice. I live in New England, so anybody who's not from here might think that because that's associated with where we live, that we can have that stuff all the time. But it can be quite expensive, so I don't have them very often. I can go years without having one because they're crazy expensive. It used to be, I think you could get one for $5 to $7, and I think they're over like $10 now for a hot dog roll with lobster meat. So, if you would like to see what it's like to have lobster and you don't want to pay an arm and a leg and you're new to the New England area, and you live in Massachusetts or New Hampshire or Rhode Island or maybe Connecticut, I wonder if they have them in Vermont too. Go to your local Market Basket, maybe Stop and Shop. But the last few years or so, actually, we haven't checked the last like maybe 2 years, but actually, right now, or maybe it was last month, it's at the end of summer, so it might be past. So when it gets towards the end of the season for lobster, you can go and get one at the fish market in the grocery store for cheap. There's anybody who is vegan will have a nightmare over it. I feel guilty. I pray. I thank God for food because an animal lost their life. But every now and then I have meat. So that's not what we're here for. We're here to discuss ADHD. As far as I would like to talk to you guys about diet and things that we can change in our diet that help with symptoms. And pretty soon I'm going to start to probably maybe revamp mine a little bit because my symptoms have been bad. And I was going to say, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I probably mentioned it like 5 times already because I forget what I say. I don't know if I ran out of my ADHD meds or if I misplaced them because I was cleaning out my closet a week or 2 ago and I brought all the stuff out that wasn't closed and I had some boxes and I just threw pill bottles in there and I knew I had been running out for a while of different supplements and I haven't had the money to buy them. So yeah, I don't know if it was like it was time to renew them anyway, or there's a bottle floating around here. I have a feeling I ran out. I actually have no idea how long I've been without it. Well, this might help you guys too, because you'll be able to see it's different for everyone. So don't gauge if you're considering medication to help you with symptoms. Everybody's different. And from what I understand, from what I learned, some people with ADHD, the medicine doesn't help them. I'm not sure why. Uh, for me, it does. I get really agitated with Ritalin. You have to understand all of these things are going to affect your brain chemistry because that's what they do. So when you start a new medicine, work with your doctor. They'll start you off very, very low dose just to make sure you're not going to have any kind of jarring bad reactions to it. And then they will slowly increase. And if you are new to taking ADHD medicine and you're starting now, if you have to give yourself reminders to eat, you might have to do that because it will suppress your appetite. Which, if you have health reasons to lose weight, that might be a benefit. But with the ADHD brain, we should not be going without eating because we're already lower in brain chemicals. So, yeah, you'll find out all that stuff when you talk to your doctor. But yeah, mostly for me, I can't. Is it Ritalin? I can't do Ritalin. It makes me like anxious and mood swingy, and I don't like it. So yeah, unfortunately, the one that works well for me is the one that they have shortages on. And I already have a long history of not being able to get medication because of biases, prejudices, and regulations. And that has been for the last 20 plus years. And I was so upset about personal experiences I've had trying to treat a condition that I have that this medication was developed for and not been able to get it because of either people abusing it or regulations and then be treated like I was drug seeking. And so then I would go like a decade or more, be like, F that. I don't need to treat this. I just didn't want to be treated that way. Luckily for me, I don't have an addictive personality when it comes to medications. Although, if you do have ADHD, there's a much higher prevalence of addiction. I'm wondering, I haven't done any reading up or studying on this, but I have a feeling or a question if that would be higher percentage for the people who have more of the hyperactivity. I don't know. But yeah, I can talk more about that in the next video. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think straight. I'm gonna go have my coffee and when I looked at my water bottle this morning, it was half empty, so I only had 4 glasses of water yesterday. And then, when I came home and I sat down to play video games, I did not move. I don't think I moved till I went to bed. Now, granted, it was the end of the day, and I wasn't planning on getting anything accomplished. It's a Sunday. I spent the day with my family, so I knew I wasn't going to be tackling things on my list like I am going to be trying to do today. But I'll probably be a lot more productive tomorrow because I have to have a few days. And now we're on Monday. And it's Columbus Day. So I don't know if doctor's offices are closed, if I'm going to be able to call and get that script or not. So I'm just going to be winging it. I'm so tired. And so I don't know how much to share with you guys. I've already shared a whole lot. I don't know if you also want me to share my feelings, like what it's like for me struggling with trying to make new habits and how hard it is. If you are a neurotypical person, and especially if you're older and you had very strict people around you, which I did when I was younger, it's going to annoy you. So you're going to see me struggling and you're going to be like, what the F is wrong with you? You know what? I have to go to work and I have to work 3 jobs to, support my family. And I've been there. At one point I was working full time and I was in school full time and I got A's. And I don't know how I did that. So, yeah, it's part of what I have, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I'm very, like, when we talk about internal dialogue and my attitude towards myself, you know how we're always really hard on ourselves? We, like, get disgusted with ourselves, and we don't have we don't have acceptance and understanding towards ourselves the way we have towards other people. And I don't know if that's how, because of how we're brought up, being a child of the 70s and 80s, like, you didn't complain. So I have these, sometimes internal conflict doing these videos. That's why I get so embarrassed showing, like, my face without makeup, and and then showing all of these things, because the me that I am, that doesn't accept that this is a reason to have these problems. I guess that's my own internalized ableism. We can talk about that too. Ableism is basically like racism and sexism, but it's prejudiced and towards your ability and your disability. So most of my life and up till now, and I still struggle, my internal dialogue is just like, what the F is wrong with you? You're disgusting. You how could you let yourself become such a whiny baby? You know, shut the F up. Stop complaining. Go to bed. Why are you like this? Get that, snap out of it every single day. Even now, like, I feel like, why am I recording myself and sharing this with the internet? I'm like, oh my God, I'm the biggest, whiniest baby. But that's the thing. That's part of it, right? So it's an unlearning. You have that so ingrained. You've been hearing that from everybody around you since you were a little kid, probably since you could walk and talk. Um, Sit still. Hurry up. What are you doing? Pay attention. It's tough for everybody. Suck it up. Don't be a baby. We have to go. Hurry up. What are you doing? Um, and that fear, and that it's almost like all of those voices you've heard your whole life become exaggerated and worse. And that becomes the way you're talking to yourself, but you're not aware of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just your reaction. It's not like I hear that. That's just my knee-jerk reaction. And I think that it worked somewhat when I was younger because I had to, but it's so bad for your mental health. And honestly, do I have to do any of us have to be like that? Like, there's somebody who is there's people close to, maybe family members or my mom, who maybe we don't share things about me. I have family members who don't know, some who do, because I know they have somebody close to them who already has this, and I feel safe to share it. But there's a lot of people I can't. And for many years, I didn't really tell people because you couldn't. Legit, you couldn't. It was something you hid. The only people who knew were my parents because I lived with them and I needed to tell them. I didn't have a choice. It didn't change much. It changed things somewhat, but it's always like, it's not an excuse. Well, you know what? I have some conflicts with that. Because when you say it to yourself or someone says to you, it's not an excuse, that's basically negating that you have the problem to begin with. You're trying to share with your boss, if you choose to disclose, hey, I have this disability and you might see these things happen and I'm working on them, but I'm really sorry. You want to, if you feel safe to talk to your boss, and if you feel they're accepting of things, you can. I've had not necessarily good results with the people I have. I think one person. I think of all my bosses, one person I've shared it totally, like, got it and understood, and I didn't have to feel so much shame and anxiety for not, it's maddening not being able to be on time. And the thing is that I'm not even that late. Like when I was younger, consistently 20 minutes. Now it's like 5, maybe 10. But, and there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean I'm not still trying, because I will until the day I die. But I'm 49 years old. I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm tired. I feel like, hey, it's time for me to be an adult. And if somebody's going to shame me and act like my parent and write me up because I can't, come to work and not be 5 minutes late, I get it. I don't want other people to feel sorry for me. I don't want to have special treatment. But if people around me can understand that that's part of what I have, and I am willing to make up for it tenfold. That sounds like maybe that's exaggerated, but I always do. I always have, and I always will, because I'm so embarrassed by it, and because I feel so discouraged. How many things can I try? And so what I can do is, maybe one of the days I'm getting ready. I don't know if you guys want to see that. I mean, it's kind of like monotonous, kind of like some of the footage from yesterday. I tried to shorten it as much as I could, and I'm still, forgive me, I'm getting used to filming. I'm getting used to recording and editing and knowing. I don't know until I start talking, like what I'm going to start talking about. And then with my short-term working memory, I know that I talked about a lot of things that are important, but I'm kind of like, I call it rambling, because I'm talking about a bunch of different things. Like as soon as I start talking, it'll remind me of something else. And I might explain things to you guys multiple times and not realize it. So I think I might have to, shit, sorry for swearing. I might have to build in, I'm going to have to start watching some videos on like new content creators, because I know that depending on the content creator, some people have to spend an enormous time editing. I'm just a girl with ADHD, man. Lady. And I just want to share with you what I've learned. I am not a professional. So I have no, and I have to be cognizant of this, right? Because this is also what part of what I'm trying to teach you guys, for people who are new to learning about this. We have a limited amount of attention and energy. So yes, there are some things we can do to improve our ability to focus, our ability to do our jobs, and we can do what other people can do. We're just as smart and capable. But with our unique brain comes, I don't want to call them weaknesses. They're just, it's different. It's like a different operating system. So there's some things that we just have to accept, and there's nothing we can do about it. So here I was my whole life not knowing, and I know there's a glare here because of the light, and I'm always saying I look bad because I've been filming myself like this, and it's just like, is this going to be unwatchable? And I don't know what I've been talking to you about, but I know it's important. So anyone who's really good at editing videos and knows how to... So if my thoughts are disorganized because of what I have, and I have so many things and ideas swirling in my head, the thing that I have that's disabling me is also going to be the thing that makes it challenging for me to organize these videos. So I'm going to do the best I can. And I think over time I'll get better. And it's kind of ironic and funny is that the things I'm gifted in, I can above and beyond and very, very fast surpass other people. Of course, it's nothing that I need to do. It's always stuff I want to do. Yeah, I was diagnosed 25 years ago, and I would be considered a late diagnosed adult because I was 25. I'm turning 50 in a few weeks. My goals for this channel is to figure out how I can take all of this information I have for tricks and tips. Like some of this won't be new to you, especially if you've been watching other content or you've known you have ADHD for a number of years but each of us is different, and each of us has something unique to share as well. So I know that for like the planners and the charts, those are things that I've worked on over a long period of time and muddled through it, and it was painful. And I've found some ways to kind of streamline it for myself. So I would like to share that with you guys because I know some of you it would help and some of you might be interested. Yeah, I'm rambling. I'm probably saying the things over and over again. I just don't want to be like filming hours a day like I did yesterday. So I'm not really sure, and then once I record like now, the thought of going back and watching it and editing it and seeing what I've repeated myself on is my kryptonite now. So I'm wondering like what kind of tricks and tips I can come up with to kind of keep myself on task when I'm making videos. Oh, please, 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 guys, ADHD friends, please, any of you, please comment. I need feedback really bad. Have any of you tried to make content? Do you struggle with things like this? I need advice. I feel like I'm talking to myself, which I am. And this will help me, but it's got to help somebody else. So if you're finding this helpful, please let me know, and let me know what it is that I'm sharing as I go along that is helpful to you, because I haven't done anything like this before. I don't know what I'm doing, and each day I'm questioning myself. But I've kind of committed now, right? And I want to make this a little bit more fun and less painful, not only for me, but for you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel depressed. My symptoms. I'm going to turn my happy light on. Hopefully when I edit this down, this will be a lot shorter. But as of now, just me coming on and talking to my phone. I've been talking for 35 minutes. I don't know how that happens. I don't know why I didn't even think about that when I was in college and younger. Especially in college, I realized it when I took online classes, and the assignment is you have to post something in the chat that's an answer to whatever question that you're learning about. And then you have to respond to 2 different people. And if you've seen any of my comments anywhere, and the same thing when I'm talking, I have like this stream of consciousness, and I just unload it, and my brain won't let me be succinct. Is that the right word? I can't. My brain rambles just like my talking. And when I go back, because when I was in those classes, I had to apologize because I felt that I was sucking all the air out of the room. So when I would take a class, I would try not to answer a lot, but it's really hard because I get very interested. I don't want to be that person that people are like, oh, be quiet already. Like that's the last, but then it like happens, you know. I got better at it as I went along. But that's another question. For you, anyone who's watching right now, if you have ADHD, that's my question for you today. Besides how you would like me to format these so they're more watchable, or like what in this process would be helpful for you, or what you would like me to learn more about and share with you, or what's been, besides, I just lost my thought. Oh, what has been the thing since you were little that people just got so aggravated that they always, it's like the thing you've heard 5 times a day? Was it sit still, be quiet, stop talking? For me, you talk too much. Multiple times a day since I was a little child, and I was never able to not do that. So the only way that I could obey the teachers and not ostracize myself from the kids that thought I was weird. And this is not for you to feel sorry for me. This is just a fact of human nature. And they didn't know about these things. So for them, I was doing it on purpose, or I was being weird, or you're smart, just stop doing it. And still today, I'm like that. So I'm way more entertaining when I'm in a group of people. Well, I'm introverted, but like when I'm working with the public, or when I do lives with you in the future, which I got 2 subscribers to go. I only need 2. I think I'm at 48. I need 2 more people to subscribe. So if anybody sees this, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, or have somebody hit the subscribe button that you think might be interested. That'd be really cool, because then I get to interact with you and you can give me direct feedback. Some things I can curtail and change and work on. It might be challenging, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. But yeah, that was my question. What is the thing that brings you shame? What is the thing that you hide for dear life? You might hear, if you're new to learning about neurodivergence, ADHD, autism, all of that, and you hear about masking, let me give you a public service announcement and let you know that masking is something that you're not trying to do. It's just it's a survival mechanism. You have sheer fear since you're a little girl or a little boy, because you have kids that are going to bully you, maybe beat you up because you're a freak and a weirdo, or adults that are just annoyed by you, that you get on their nerves. You would like to think adults would be understanding and kind, but they just suck it. You can tell, you know. Of course, it was a lot different when I was young. A teacher could yell at you. They could send you to the principal's office now. Like, kids can talk back all the time. It's just crazy. It's so different. But yeah, what are the things that have caused you shame and you hide for dear life? You have learned, and it has been reinforced. You have a need to belong as a human being. We're social animals. We don't want to be alone, regardless if you're introverted or not. You want to get along with people. You want to be loved and accepted just like everyone else. Like, we're not talking about popularity and all the stuff of adolescence or specific ages, but I mean, you don't have to feel like you completely fit in or that everybody likes you 100%, because that's life. I mean, I don't care about that. I'm good enough with who I am that I don't need people to like me. But the people that you work with, the people in your you want your family members to like you. They can love you but not like you. I've had people say that to my face as a joke. Well, say that around me as a joke because they thought it was funny. And it hurts a lot. And I think that they were struggling too. But yeah, you can love someone and not like them. They can get on your nerves. And if you're that person that gets on everyone's nerves, what are you supposed to do? What you do, you shove that deep inside and you just. So you act the way that people expect you to act. You don't want that attention. You don't want to be the freak. Nobody wants that. And especially as you become an adult and you go off into the world, if you want to be successful, especially if you work in sales and promotion, you want to be not necessarily convincing. If you're an authentic person, you can sell and be very successful and honest at the same time. That's how I was successful. I used to joke, that saying, I could sell ice to an Eskimo. I don't like that as far as like, now that we're getting into a different time, it's not politically correct, I'm sure. But the point being is I might be able to do that because I tell people the truth and I only sell things that I'm truly excited about. That way I can sleep at night and I don't have any guilt. That's one thing I can't stand, So this is becoming morning coffee now. It's been 43 minutes. Do you want to do that? I've thought about doing like morning coffee. Like, I know I've seen several people do it and it's not like an idea I got from them. It's something I was already thinking about doing, but I have a tendency to just, I forget what the word is. Like you don't mean to copy, but things get stuck in my head. And so when it goes to come out and I talk, it ends up sounding like other content creators and it's not intentional. So I don't want to do that. I actually had somebody I really, really liked that I subscribed to and I'm like, oh my God, she's just like me. And I actually can't watch her channel because she's so much like me in some ways, not the personality like chit chat, and she's more autistic. Yeah, and then I end up saying, I hear something and it implants itself in my head. And then when I go to say that same thought, it comes out in the same exact words. So I have to be mindful of that. And I can't watch her channel now. And it sucks. ADHD and autism thing, I'm going to have to start giving them numbers. I always forget the name of it. I always want to say like soliloquy, something or other, some weird name. Basically, it's like the whole thing with getting songs stuck in your head. If you see something, do you get knee-jerk reactions and all of a sudden quotes from movies come out? I always thought that I was just clever and funny and cute, and I didn't realize that it's a thing. And then once I was aware of it and I had that awareness, then when it happened, then I realized that I kept saying the same quote more than once. And I'm like, oh, I thought I was being cute. Like every time I hear, if I get blinded, I start singing, blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night. That one. And anytime I think of something driving you crazy, Patsy Cline, like I don't even listen to her. I've never heard her songs except for that song. And just that one part will pop in there. It's a song. Or movie quotes. I forget what that's called. Anyways, it's been 45 minutes. I don't want to go back and edit this. Should I still share these with you? Are these completely unwatchable? I don't know. They could be the equivalent of a podcast, I guess, where you can just like listen. Tell me what you relate to. Tell me what you would like to learn more. This is my channel, and I am going to do things that I like, and I'm going to decide how I direct how it's going to grow and everything like that. But I mean, I'm not doing it for me. I am doing it for me too, but it can't just be what I like, because then no one will watch it. I genuinely want to help people. So comment below. Let me know, one, what is your greatest shame, or the thing, it doesn't have to be shame, but thing that was like drilled into you that it's automatic that you hide it from people, or you're always people would get annoyed in that ADHD group. Like there's one that was like, stop saying you're sorry. And I thought to myself after, I'm like, I can't undo 49 years of having to say I'm sorry to bosses and parents and teachers and friends. How do you undo that? That's a lot of layers. That is a reinforced multiple times a day for how many days a year, 365 days a year, multiplied by how many years, tens of thousands? I don't know. Definitely a higher percentage than your average bear, your average person. So I'm going to stop. I'm getting tired, and I was actually considering not talking today on here. When I first woke up, I was just not feeling it. But at the same time, part of this is so that if I just share super curated short things, go, this is how I do my planner, and I'm always happy and it always looks easy, and then you go to try something you've never done before and you try it 1 or 2 days and you're just going to feel like a failure. And like, even though I've tried to get myself back on track, I don't know how many times, I still struggle. I still have days where my symptoms are so bad that I have to decide if I'm just going to scrap the day. Like, I have to adjust my expectations according to what I'm able to do that day. Because sometimes my attention span is out to lunch. And no matter how much I work at reining in, it's like some days it won't. Now, granted, now that I've isolated myself, yeah, I've given myself a break from burnout and everything, but that's not life. So I gotta get it together so that I can be functional, work a job, and not have to share if I don't want to. That's another thing I would love to talk to you guys about is employment. How has it affected your employment? That's for future conversations. I know that I want something different for myself. I know I want something better. And then even besides the ADHD, it being, it technically is a disability, whether we want to believe it or not. It is. It's protected for a reason. It's not something you willed to happen. You're not being weak. You have a different brain, and it honestly, you know what my analogy of it is? When I wake up in the morning, I feel like my brain is the equivalent of an old 80s PC running on dial-up. You know, when you used to have to do defrag and all those things. I'm not a tech person, so I don't know a lot of the terminology, but I remember it would take forever. You would turn the computer on and it would go, it would take a while to warm up. And sometimes when you'd hit the buttons, it wouldn't work right away. And sometimes it would freeze on you. Yeah. So I feel like everybody else gets the latest computer system where they just turn it on and boom. I don't know if that's just a perception on my part because I have this. Sometimes I can't boot it up until the afternoon. Oh my gosh. I wanted to chronicle my day, not spend it on here. I'm going to let you guys go. It's been 51 minutes. I may or may not post this, but I do love and care about you guys. I care about people. It's not just a tagline. I really do. Help me to help you. Help me to help us all. I'm open to feedback, to whatever way to help you, whatever format to do. If you have any ideas of something to make it really fun, like a game, my ADHD brain is just dying because also I feel like I can't do music because there's copyright. I get songs in my head and I think it's fun. I almost like have this like little game show in my head, like what songs in her head today? This morning I had while I was laying in bed waking up, I kid you not, I had 2 different Eminem songs. I had Halo by Beyonce, and there was another one. I can't remember it right now. And then when I got up and I went to get dressed and I had the TV on, a commercial came on. And then there was a jingle on a commercial that immediately triggered a memory of, call him Mr. Rada, call him Mr. Wrong, call him Mr. Vain, from back in the 2000s. So, yeah. I don't know how to make a simulation, but I have to make a simulation of that someday because I have no idea how to explain that. And nobody in my family who has ADHD, when I talk to them, none of them have that. So I don't know what that is. And I've seen other ADHD content creators make these simulations and you could hear like layers of voices talking. And it's kind of like our brains do that when we're tired. So it's like you don't actually hear like hallucinate. You know it's in your head, but you hear it. It's like background noise. And sometimes it's so loud and so annoying, it stops you from being able to do what you want to do. So earworms, song stuck in your head. But then imagine that all jacked up, like to some twisted nightmare version of it. Like going in the funhouse version of music you used to like, and then it throws the songs in a blender and it chops them up into little bits, and then you get little pieces of song, and it's like turning on the radio and then switching, the knob to this song and then to that song. Imagine going back and forth and back and forth or rotating chunks of song or just one line over and over and over again. By the way, people who have that, who desperately want to shut it off so they can sleep, when I have it happening at night and I can't sleep, I have never been able to shut it off. The only thing I can do to fix that, and my hack for that, is I had to make a playlist of sleepy songs. I can, because if my brain is quick to latch onto any song and start repeating it, the only thing I can do is try to hack that system and just switch the song, because I can't shut it off. Medicine doesn't make it go away. It's a little bit less, but it's just a stimulant. It's not going to change my brain, you know? It makes me more awake. It makes me more able to focus. It doesn't change all the difficulties. And I don't know if people know that, you know? My fiance is like, you know, we went to the nursing home and I stayed in the area where he went to get his mom to bring him down so we could all like celebrate as a family. And I was playing on my phone and I literally felt like he went up and then he showed up with her, and I was like, "Oh, how long have you guys been gone?" And he's like, "I don't know. Have you lost time this whole time?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he goes, "You really need to get medicine." Now he's right, but the shame. Again, I feel like it's a failure. It's a failing. I don't want to be different. I don't want it. It's not a gift. Somebody take it. You know, I almost feel like I would gladly be neurotypical, but I don't know what person I would be. I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't have the gifts. I probably wouldn't have the deep empathy that I have for people who are struggling and suffering, because I've been there, you know? That's the one thing about going through hard times. I mean, unless you're a total narcissist or sociopath or psychopath, I mean, if you're a human being and cares about people at all, and then you go through painful stuff, any painful thing you've gone through, at least when somebody's struggling with it starts to open up and don't know you've been through it, you'd be like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's going to be okay. That's the gift that comes with it, but you got to go through painful stuff to get there. Is this watchable? I hope you guys have a great day. It is day 5. I don't even know what I want to attempt to do. I don't feel like doing any of the things I said before. I might just watch TV for like an hour. I'm already losing time. It's been 2 hours, and I haven't even been cleaning. It's almost 2 hours. What time does my phone say? Yeah. What the heck, man? What do you guys do for work? Let me know if you feel like your ADHD is something that helps you at your job or something that gives you a lot of anxiety about. I love you guys. I hope if I record today or not, at least I'll record tonight and sum up my day. I'm not sure how I want to structure these days. Like, I want to get back on track, but I don't know if it's helpful for you for me to do what I did yesterday, or sorry, not yesterday, day 4 on Saturday, and bring you with me while I do those things. They're kind of boring. Or would you rather me just sum it up? Is anybody ever going to watch these? Go do something nice for yourself today. Do something nice for yourself today and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the things that you are feeling that you're failing, that you don't like about yourself. If I'm struggling with that, please do that for you, and I'll work on that for me. And I'll see you in the next one, hopefully soon. Bye.